Hello. Thank you for joining me again. Today we are going to talk about really doing your own thing when it comes to coaching. Recently, I was at the SBOC, Small Business Owners Convention, where this podcast, Raving Coaches, was nominated the second year in a row for Podcast of the Year. So, big shout out to the SBOC and a thank you to Pat Miller, who has formed that group and kind of leads it. If you are a business coach, a coach that's really looking to build something bigger than a solo practice, I strongly recommend that you go follow the SBOC. You join their monthly membership, which is only like $9 these days, and you stay tuned for when next year's conference is going to be. It's one of the best business conferences that I have ever attended. That conference started with Pat Miller giving the welcome address. And in that welcome address, he talked about Jimi Hendrix. And he talked about how you and I know who Jimi Hendrix is, right? Because he's a really great guitarist. He's kind of one of the greats, one of the one of one. Nobody's really like Jimi Hendrix. And yet, he hasn't played for a long time. Decades. He's been gone. How many people have learned to play guitar in those decades? And why didn't they become their own one of one, renowned guitar players? Well, let's think about how they learned to play guitar. They first learned some chords and they learned to kind of string them together, if you will, right? Pun intended. And then what do they want to do? They want to play the greats. They want to play Led Zeppelin. They want to play Jimi Hendrix. They want to play Slash. They want to play Metallica. They want to play fill in the gap. They want to play like the greats. So they start copying them and they start learning their riffs. But when you copy the greats, it's really hard to become great. What you need as a coach is similar to what Pat was explaining to the small business owners, is you need to become one of one. Now, you and I have talked about this on the podcast before, about learning what you uniquely do. That's my languaging for it. But I thought this guitar analogy or this music analogy was so great that I'd love to walk you through what that looks like and see what we can learn from it. So, in the process of becoming one of one, likely you're going to learn guitar just like everybody else, right? You're going to play some of those riffs that everybody else plays. Now, maybe that's where you're at in your business. That would look like you have followed the courses, the coaches who have come before you who have said, if you just post on YouTube a bunch, you're going to make money. If you just do this, if you just, or you must, even worse, even worse are the people who tell you you need to or you must do it my way in order to be one of one, a great, your own coach. And you've done that with your certifications. You're like, I took an NLP certification and I'm going to be the very best NLP certification person ever. I didn't do my homework here. I don't know who created NLP, but I know that you are likely never going to get better at NLP than that person was. You're just not. It's a great skill set to have. Don't hear me pooping on any certifications here, right? Saying that NLP isn't great or that human design isn't a great methodology or any of these other ones. But if you are simply trying to practice that methodology and think That's what makes you great. You're going to be like every other guitar player that has learned to play guitar since Jimi Hendrix. You can play some good riffs. Maybe on the weekends you go to an open mic. It's pretty cool, but you're never known for something. Do you want to be known for your own style of coaching? And I'll tell you, when you get to be known for your own style, that's when your clients come. Think about going to see some of those local bands that maybe you and I like to go see, the live music, where they will play covers. I have certain bands that I go see all the time that play amazing covers. And the reason I go see them is not because they sound like the original artist, but because they've done something different with the music. They've made it their own. They've done something interesting. Where's the interesting for you? And how can you uncover that? Well, going back to guitar, I can't tell you how many, right, like music, biopics, band biopics, different things that I've seen where somebody's just sitting in the corner and they're just ba-doop-ba-boop-boo, 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 ba-doop-ba-boop-boo. And a bandmate turns to them and says, "What's that? That's interesting." Oh, it's just this thing I came up with. I don't know, I've been warming up with it for a long time. That's interesting. Do it again. Is there more to it? What could we do with it? Right? They discover some amazing things together. So with the bandmates edifying and going, oh, that's kind of cool. Something new starts to be created, a new sound, a new way. Have you seen this on some of those movies before, or some of those documentaries about the band, right? Who are your bandmates that are going to be able to tell you that's different, that's cool? I have had the privilege of working alongside some amazing coaches, and that's my superpower. We get them branded and we get them marketing, doing what they're doing right now, and get some clients coming in. I call that the low-hanging fruit, right? We get the clients coming in, but usually about 6 to 10 weeks into our coaching program, they say something astounding. Ba-da-boo-boo-boo-boo. They do something different. Ba-da-boo-boo-boo-boo. And I'm like, let's back up to that thing again. Explain that. And it's just what they've known for such a long time. They've been warming up with it. They don't understand it's the unique sound. It's the unique offer. It's the unique thing that they're here to do. So once we have that branding and messaging and marketing taken care of around what they're currently doing as a coach, and we start pulling in some of those low-hanging fruit clients, we then get to go on this amazing creative journey of opening up this new door. Now, I'm not saying you have to work with me, although love to meet you. Love to see if there's some synergy. But you need to surround yourselves with other people who also have the ability to do that with you. Be cautious here, friends. I'm not talking about your general mastermind network event. You can't ask for help from people that are struggling as much as you. It's not going to work. So as you look to the people that you are asking for or collaborating with or right, talking about your coaching business, are they still also in the struggle or have they kind of found their unique thing that they do in business? The thing only they can do. Now, when I talk about that, I am talking about utilizing your endotype formula, utilizing your life journey, the things that life has taught you, and then the skill sets that you have for coaching, whether that is part of your life journey, part of your career path, part of those certifications, your knowledge, your life, and your endotype design really help predict the thing that only you can do. And then you got to find your unique sound. And when all of those things come together so clearly, magic, Jimi Hendrix, becoming one of one. Now, as you start learning, you're probably going to keep needing to vibe with other people. You're going to need to continue to riff and struggle and practice. I have a lovely group of ladies who helped me practice, and a couple of gentlemen helped me practice my endotype formula as it was being created 10 years ago. Many of them lovingly call themselves my guinea pigs. I would never, but they do. I call them my beta testers. They're my immediate call. So when I was creating the endotype formula, and I'd be like, "Ooh, I think it works like this, and I think this." I could drop them a voice note and go, "Okay, I think I figured out a new thing. For you, would you say you react or you think or this works this way for you?" And I would send it out to 5 different endotypes, my 5 different collaborative partners that I was working with at the time, and go, "Does this work for you?" And then it would be different. "Does this work for you? And does this work for you?" And I would change it based on their endotype. And if they all came back and they were like, "Oh, yeah," and some of them would come back like, "Kind of almost," but what it really feels like inside of me is, and I gather up all those nuggets. I had some amazing collaborative partners that I will forever be grateful to because they were willing to help. They were learning about themselves at the same time. And they were also willing to protect or to respect the thing that I was creating, right? There was no competition. There was nothing like, oh, Laura's creating this new thing. I want to create that thing too. So surrounding yourself with the right vibe partners, the right practice partners is key. Then, once you have figured it out, and once boo 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 has turned into the entire song with lyrics, with a vibe, with a beat, next you have to launch it. You have to go put it into the world and see how it works. And maybe that looks like, right? You have a gig over here for, so going back to the guitar analogy, right? This band's got a gig and it's like, "We're going to play a new song." And they play it and the crowd goes lukewarm. Yay. They're like, "Oh, we might need to go back to the drawing board on that one." Like that one didn't quite hit. So they go back and they practice some more and they tweak the beat and they tweak the background and they, "Oh, okay." And they go practice it again on stage. And the crowd gets amped a little bit more. And maybe they make a single. They send it out to some producers. They're practicing. But you know what they're also doing? Failing. If they go play that new song in front of their new audience or in front of their current audience, and their current audience is like, "Woo," that can't feel good. I'm not part of a band, but I can't think that feels good to get especially if it was your vibe to begin with. But they practice some more and they tweak it and they experiment with it until the producer goes, that's the one. And they then launch it bigger. See, for you, friend, you're also going to have to do that. If you have a unique body of work that's brewing inside of you, if you have a coaching style that only you can do, it's going to be yours. And putting it out there and hearing, "I don't get it. Like, what is this?" Oh, but what are you going to do with it? I got that a lot. When I was creating the endotype formula, I talk about this cool formula and this cool thing that, and they go, yeah, but what are you gonna like? But what does it do? Everything. I'd say everything. Like, right? It influences everything in human behavior. But I couldn't make a thing that did everything. That was the wrong answer. I have made a premier personality profiling system to support coaches. It was made by a coach for coaches. We now support them in marketing. Soon we will support them in with a certification and allowing them to endotype their own clients and see behind the curtain, see what really works and where the fears are for their clients because it's all predictable. Premier for coaches. That's my vibe. But I didn't get that for years. I had to practice for a long time. You're going to have to practice your unique body of work, and it may feel like failure. And that failure may cause fear, and it may cause you to stop. I don't want you to stop. I want you to refocus your brain into this is all just an experiment. You're going to keep track of what works. You're going to keep track of what doesn't. And you're going to move forward, adding new ingredients, new vibes, new backbeats, maybe a new producer, right? I always call myself, when it comes to this podcast, you are the rock star, I am the roadie. But maybe I need to move into that producer role because I think I've produced a few coaches unique sounds and unique programs along the way. So here, in terms of this podcast, I'm gonna be your roadie. I'm gonna be carrying the stuff and bringing you amazing guests. If you choose to work with me one-on-one, I will become your producer, and we will produce something amazing that can only come from you. But you need to find your own producer. If it's not me, super, but find somebody that can help hold you to your work, can help you experiment and see what works, what doesn't. And I want you to understand that it's going to evolve over time. Have you ever, right, you fall in love with a song on the radio, you fall in love with a band, it's amazing. You finally get an opportunity to go see them in concert. And when they play that favorite song, especially if it's a song from 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and they're playing it now, it doesn't sound exactly the same. Maybe they've sped it up, slowed it down. They've laid a different kind of melody to it. You know it, and it's your favorite still, but it sounds different because their music has evolved. Their skill set has evolved. And for you, that's going to be very true also, friend. The work that only you can do and that unique body of work that you have, if you're fortunate enough to find your riff, to practice it, to vibe check it, to have it become something amazing and new, to find a producer, to get it out there, to grow it, over time it will evolve and kind of take on its own little vibe and its own little thing. And that's okay. You don't need to be stuck in time with that project, with that unique body of work, and not let it evolve. Expect it to. That's how you, my friend, become one of one. That's how, instead of trying to be Jimi Hendrix, instead of trying to be Tony Robbins, instead of trying to be Marie Forleo, you become you and do the work that only you can do. The first step in all of that is to find your riff, to find the thing that only you can do, and to study your practice. I invite you to check out an opportunity to study your craft. If what I've said today makes sense to you, if understanding your endotype is something that you'd like to do, and understanding and seeing where your endotype and the problem your clients have intersect to be able to create some great marketing, attract that low-hanging fruit, I invite you to check out my workshop, October 9th at 1:30 Central, or not replay, but we're going to do it again, October 22nd at 5:30 Central. I am doing my Are You a Copycat Coach workshop. Are you copying Jimi Hendrix? Are you copying what other coaches say? Are you copying how they express what they do? Or do you have a unique way to explain what only you can do? To be able to magnetize and call into you the clients who are going to be your biggest fans and your best clients. That's what we're going to work on. 90-minute workshop, $39 to be able to attend. We're going to include the link in the show notes here. I hope to see you there.